Good day, everybody, my family, friends, and adversaries. I got a great video that came out here today that I'm going to post up, and it talks about, if anybody remembers when I first started this, the phone call that I made describing the profile of the person that would be involved in all of this. All right, yep, be safe. And this gets into that. The profile that I was in that business for over 2 decades, so I know how it goes. And I think you know what business I'm talking about. And I've been free of that since 2003. But I do know how it runs and how it operates. And the profile that I gave in that phone call said that it would probably start from San Diego and go up all the way to Alaska. And I still stand by that profile of the person that would own housing, businesses, things like that operates that business. Now, in our investigations, we have found out that there's a separate investigation going on in Moscow. And I'm not going to get into that. Okay, I'm not going to get into that. But I am going to get into what the part of it that could affect those 4 beautiful kids. And my profile, I stand by it. I swear by it. And I even know the areas that are covered. So this is a very interesting video put out by True Crime Design, which I know they got in trouble there a little bit with that whole dot thing, but everybody did. Once in a while, we fall down rabbit holes. And that just happens. But this is really good. And it just came out like, I don't know what it says here, but it just came out like an hour ago. It says hour, so it could be anywhere from an hour to hour and 59 minutes ago. So anyway, I'm going to run this. It is really, really good. I got to share the screen here.
Hello, miss. What's your name?
Xana.
Xana, do you live here?
Yes.
Hey, did Megan talk to you earlier?
Madison Mogan, yes.
Madison Mogan?
Yeah.
Madison Mogan.
Yeah, and if they don't come out, we just contact landlords. Huh, no stairs to the back deck. Interesting.
I'd much rather you spend that $300 on beer or something fun than
Yeah.
noise sticker, right?
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Come to the door, guys. Send whoever lives here down to the door. We're not leaving. We can also see you. Hey, who's the owner or who lives here?
I can go get them real quick.
Okay, thank you, please.
What sorority are they affiliated with?
I
don't know.
I don't
Yeah,
know if they're associated with the.
Many of them are living here. It's an off-campus sorority house. I've been a cop for 22 years here. I'm not stupid. Don't play dumb games with me.
Moscow police, come back here. In the future, I know it might seem like it's weird that cops walk around in plain clothes, but we do have a job to do. So if I yell at you guys, hey, come talk to me, probably should go that route instead of walking away, right?
Yeah, and if they don't come out, we just contact landlords.
Money laundering enables cartels to produce the most lethal thing that they produce around the world, and that's corruption.
Today, the Justice Department is announcing significant enforcement actions against the largest, most violent, and most prolific fentanyl trafficking operation in the world. That operation is run by the Sinaloa cartel and fueled by Chinese precursor chemical and pharmaceutical companies. The Justice Department is attacking every aspect of the cartel's operations. We have charged suppliers in China who sell fentanyl precursors to the cartel, a Guatemalan-based broker who purchases the precursor chemicals on behalf of the cartel.
As you notice, it goes from San Diego north.
Labs in Mexico, where the cartel manufactures fentanyl, a weapons supplier who arms the cartel with firearms smuggled into Mexico from the United States, leaders of the cartel's security forces who terrorize communities, money launderers who enable the cartel to fund its operations, and the cartel's leaders.
When a criminal comes into ill-gotten money through, let's say, political influence peddling or drug trafficking, they have to get creative to stay on the right side of the law. If they just pop it into a bank account, the feds are going to be knocking on their door by sunset. So they use a process called money laundering, cleansing dirty money of its criminal origins. If they're super sneaky, make a big purchase, let's say buy an office building, then they have a front business pay for that, giving them.
Now, I talked about this. I talked about this in that profile and how they would own businesses to launder the money. And if you look at that map, you'll see that it goes way up into northern Minnesota. And it also is right in Moscow, Idaho. I'll keep it going here.
Them a paper trail, a giant profit, and a pocket full of freshly laundered cash.
I would use these cash businesses as the first step in taking dirty money off the street and starting to clean it up. So now what I want to do is keep pushing the money further and further away from its origin point, which of course was illegal. So I would take that money from the cash business that I run, and I would then use it to purchase a piece of real estate. Say I wanted to make a down payment on an apartment building. Now I've created another layer of legitimacy around me. You sell the real estate, and now you have more legitimate income to declare.
Small World Software, Idaho assumed business name, filing state Idaho, active current, 24 years, 1 month, mailing address. Still 1122 King Road. Okay. Moscow, Idaho. Business category, computer software. And then here underneath, you can see Scott Perky, the owner, again, the address. This is still like this. Okay. Why is this address still the address? That means your mail would be coming here. That means, everything is in 24 years and 1 month. This is still the address of Small World Software. What is Small World Software? What is it? What are you making? Here is your Scott Perky.
We could not find any product that company was selling. No products. None. Zero. And for the last 24 and a half years, almost 25 years, that company's name has been listed at that address. They have no products, and it's an import-export business. The man, I'll let the video play.
Registered sex offender. In July of 2016, defendant was charged with 1 count of sexual assault on a child. Defendant and the state reached a plea agreement, and a change of plea hearing was set for April 19, 2017. Defendant decided he did not want to enter a plea and did not appear at the hearing. At a status conference 2 days later, defense counsel asked the court to set another change of plea hearing the following week. On March 7th, 2018, defendant pleaded guilty to 1 count of lewd conduct with a child in violation of, the code, in exchange for which he agreed to a sentence of 3 to 15 years, all suspended with 6 months to serve.
I want you to read this right here. Is my mic on? Yeah. I want you to read this right here. She was 14 years old.
The defendant admitted to the court that between March and June of 2014, he inserted his into the complainant, who was then 14 years old. He would go back to say that he was coerced into saying that, and because he was scared that he was going to go to prison for 20 years. Okay. But this is the same guy.
leaders of the cartel's security forces who terrorize communities, money launderers who enable the cartel to fund its operations.
The stuff that shouldn't happen, especially in a small, quiet town like Moscow is, where we're heavily involved with the university. And these are things that affect not just town, but the university, the students, lends everybody to a sense of insecurity about what's going on here and why.
Could drugs be involved in all of this?
I have not heard that there's any suspicion that drugs played a role in the killings.
So not like a drug deal gone bad or something like that?
I am not aware of anything like that, no.
They're saying it's still a targeted attack, but they don't know if it was the house or one of the students or more of the students that were targeted. The more time passes, the less we know, the less we understand.
I'd like to give a quick update to the community. Starting Friday morning, we are going to be bringing in a professional cleaning crew to go to the residents and begin cleaning. Part of the reason we're doing that is because of the biohazards as well as chemicals that were used during the investigation. So there will be activity over at that residence on King Road, and we just want people to know about that.
The scene may never not be released. It's indefinite then. I mean, until a trial possibly.
I suppose that could happen. You know, there will be decisions made by people that are probably higher up than me that will need to make those decisions. But I suppose that is a possibility.
Law enforcement has closed the investigation. Evidence gathering inside. It's been passed over to the owner, who has now gifted it to the university. Benny, the university has plans to demolish this home at some point. Court TV has reached out to the property.
Did he gift that house to keep them off him? That's a question you have to ask.
Management company who's still helping the university with this property. Here's what they told Court TV. They said that, of course, no entry is allowed into this building. Even after remediation or the cleaning of the inside of this property, the house will be demolished after it is cleaned, and there's no date set for demolition, according to Team Idaho Property Management. Also, the University of Idaho, who now owns this property, Vinny Scott Green, has released a statement. It says that the owner of the King Street house offered to give the house to the university, which we accepted. The house will be demolished.
All right. Now you've seen what I was talking about when I made that call, and that call was right on the money. I thought I would share that, and hats off to True Crime Design. And you can see that the investigations of like Lana and Rory, True Crime Design, Dago, CJ, you know, all this is coming true, and they're finding out things that that will affect this case. I guarantee you. Anyway, that's it for now. Have a good day. Hearts to all of you, and we shall see you later.